Well, good evening, folks. Hope you're well. I've been off for a couple of days. I just thought I'd take a break, but I thought I'd better do a video before my millions of subscribers desert me. Anyway, here I am, back in the fold, as they say. But I think that it's important that I only do videos at a time I can think of anything useful to say, to be frank. Or George. Well, this video, I find it hard to put into an order, so if I do digress here and there, please forgive me, because there's a lot I want to get across, but sometimes the nuances of what I'm trying to say get lost in my confusion. So listen out. And if it looks like I've lost the plot, forgive me. Sometimes I do lose the plot. But the core and essence of what I want to get across to you, I hope to convey in this video, and hope that you understand what it is I'm trying to say, without the fear of being banned from YouTube and having my channel destroyed again. So, one cannot be too careful, can one? My royal subjects. Anyway, here we go. Not sure about you, because I don't know you terribly well, but some weeks ago I think I did a video about the gut feeling. Now the gut in human beings is extremely sensitive to things. When you're scared of something, or you are not expecting something terrible, expecting something horrible to happen to you, you get this queasy tummy effect, don't you? Butterflies, they call it, don't they? Butterflies in my tummy. It's your gut. It's how we're wired, folks. It truly is. And our gut has some degree of intelligence about it. But we also have other senses. I mean, we just think we've got the usual 5 senses. We haven't. We have several. They're just underdeveloped, or they're suppressed by various chemicals that we're prone to being exposed to, by those who know how to stop them in us. We're in a state of arrested development, folks. That's what we find ourselves in this century, because there's those out there, and we know the 1%ers plus simply want to arrest the development of the human species in its most natural form, and is trying to hijack that as we speak with all sorts of little cyber games and high frequency radio waves and 5G. Yes, we ain't seen nothing yet. 5G for the first time hit the UK in its fully operational state the other day. Well, let's see how the rates of cancer and leukemia, particularly childhood cancer, start to go up, shall we? Isn't it? Well, it's got nothing to do with 5G, the increase in cancer, the increase in dementia starting in people aged 25 and 30. You watch. Well, do not go down the 5G route, folks. That's my advice for you. But so many morons out there will adopt it, thinking they're so hip, being able to download a film in 1.8 seconds or whatever it takes. But they won't have the intelligence to watch it, will they? They'll forget they've downloaded it for a start. Anyway, to the point. I've put a link under this video of a person I think you really should watch. I won't mention his name, but he's a knight of the realm, and he was castigated to the gates of hell, wasn't he, for what he did? But I think I am in complete agreement with him. And I shall leave it at that. And I would recommend you watch it, please. And comment underneath. I'd be really keen to know your opinion of this particular video, especially when you add it on to what I have to say in this video. which we will crack on with if that's okay with you. Where to start? Well, this gut feeling, in the modern day lingo, would be, I suppose, my spidey sense, my spider sense. That's another way of saying it. It's my spidey sense. It's, oh man, I'm getting this feeling. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something not quite right. And we all experience this in one way or another in our lives, but we rarely, if ever, act upon it or take it seriously. Well, you should, my dears. You really should. Because it's happening for a reason. Something out there, someone in the ether is trying to tell you, be very, very careful. Your little spider sense. Yes, we all have a spidey sense. And I've made careful note of when I get a spider sense, or spidey sense if you like, the gut feeling, and it's never let me down yet. I was right. Well, I wasn't. The spidey sense was right. It's like we've got a little thing on our shoulder saying, take care. And if you've got one of these, you nurture it, you cherish it, you do not dismiss this oh so important spidey sense. People will think you've lost the plot talking about such things. You have to keep your own counsel. But you got to, some people say, oh, do what your heart tells you to do. No. Not what your heart is very misleading. It can get you into a lot of trouble. But the spidey sense, the gut feeling, 99.999% of the time it is right. And sometimes it's telling you something you really don't want to hear. Then you carry on anyway, and then you get burnt. You crash and burn. You think, shit, I should have listened. I just knew that was going to happen. Well, why did you carry on then? Because you didn't listen to yourself. And Shakespeare said, to thine self be true. You really must. It'll save you a world of heartache. Well, I have a strange feeling. The crunchy feeling, the spider sense, the gut feeling that we've all been duped. We've all been so obsessed, haven't we, with Brexit. Brexit, 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 pro-Brexit. Do we have another referendum? Brexit. We've all, as a nation, been absolutely preoccupied with this bloody topic. Brexit this, so you're pro-Brexit here. No, Remainers. Oh, the Remainers. Are you a Remainer or a Remainer? You know, Remainers want another vote. And yes, well, come the referendum. These buzzwords are coming out, the bloody media. And we've got the Conservatives and the Labour all fighting over who's going to zoom. Well, the Conservatives are finished, quite frankly. They've got nada credibility. And the same as the Labour. I mean, Jeremy Corbyn, what a joke. You know, it's almost as bad as him talking to trees and things like Prince Charles. Or maybe they're giving him an answer. But I think that we've all been preoccupied, so preoccupied in the UK about this Brexit, how often do I have to say it, that there's something else going on. There's something dirty happening behind the scenes, and all the politicians are complicit. Some are ignorant about the whole process. Of course, they get caught up in the flurry of this Brexit fever that's going on at the moment. But if we take Brexit out of the equation and stand back and take a good look at what truly is happening, we will see quite clearly that our country is being, well, taken away from us. I see the dawning of a new day / slang for a communism, total fascist dictatorship going on. And that slow but sure imposition on our human rights and our liberties in this country is going ahead regardless. We have now got a parallel legal system. The UK law is complicit in allowing the Sharia law to be practiced in our country, which is against the Constitution. It is against the Constitution of this country, and there is one. It is not legal for Sharia law to run in parallel because the British legal system is set in stone, and there will be no competitor against it. Legal cases in this country must be tried under British law. Simples. And this is absolutely illegal, what is going on with Sharia law. They've been endorsed and supported by, well, hang on, this is totally illegal. And yet nobody bats an eyelid. Oh, hang on, Brexit votes on the telly. Oh, turn over. You see, it's like halal. The imposition of halal meat overnight. That was imposed on the British population. It was imposed on the school. School meals were halal meat. Our children never got a say, did they? No, halal meat. Well, this is because it's all about the Sharia law. And yet what's happening to our legal system? It is taking a partner. It's in partnership, folks. It's being removed, slowly being diluted and attacked, and our British legal system is running behind the backs of the British people. We have extradition policies now where people can be sent across to France, like the couples that have been inventing G2-MAF, the anti-cancer drug, which has been proved to be fantastically effective against cancer. There is a cure for cancer. G2-MAF, MAF, G2-MAF. Okay, and yet the people that have developed this and brought it to those and proven that it works have cured hundreds and hundreds of people from cancer, are being prosecuted and extradited. They will be extradited to France for a trial. Why? What's it got to do with the French? What happens on British soil? But nobody's giving that any publicity, are they? You see, things we thought we had a country. We thought we had not a constitution. We have a Magna Carta, and yet everybody's not really interested. We're all so preoccupied with this Brexit. You see, they have to keep us focused, us animals on the farm, with all the other stuff. And you wonder, it is such a big issue, this Brexit thing, that it's a godsend for those who want to slip the shit behind the curtain, isn't it? Keep them preoccupied looking at that, and we'll do that and that and that and that. By the time that they get a Brexit or not, it doesn't matter, because we've got what we want. And what the 1%ers want, folks, is total fascism in the UK, regardless of the Magna Carta. Well, think about this. The Magna Carta isn't really designed for the people, by the people, for the people at all. Not like the American Constitution whatsoever. And take a look at that. It was designed for the land barons and the bankers, wasn't it, to protect their little assets and protect the royal family and the offspring of such people. That was all. It wasn't for the people at all. We don't have a Bill of Rights. We don't have a constitution, folks. We don't, us Brits. We really don't. We have to just shut up and put up and get on with it. And, oh, bless them, they don't understand. But this British law is an ass. And yet it's the only one we have. And we have to comply to it or face the consequences. But in the meantime, Sharia law, yes, okay, we can run it parallel where the poor women don't stand a prayer because all the judges and all the lawyers are men. Such a misogynistic system. The women aren't allowed a choice, are they? They're not allowed legal representation, Sharia law. And this is all about female genital mutilation and all the other crap, and allowing a Muslim to have sex with an underage child, or even hire a underage child from the local mullah for a small fee and agree to marry her immediately, and the next day he can divorce her immediately after having tested it out for the night. Excuse the it. And that's quite within the Sharia law. You tell me why the British system would agree to such a thing. Why? Because the people who have agreed to the Sharia law being imposed in this country are paedophiles themselves. That's why. Of course they are. They're part of the 1%ers, the bankers, the Satanists. But our Spidey sense, let's get back to that old coconut. What's happening? Well, the honest answer is something terribly big is about to happen in this country. Okay. And we have to know that history repeats itself. If there's anything I've learned heading into my 70 years and 10, is that nothing in this world happens by accident. It is meant to happen, it is made to happen, it is allowed to happen, it is designed to happen. Because there are no coincidences. There absolutely are not coincidences. You might think they're coincidences, but they're not. They're too frequent to be coincidences. Well, slap 'em my thigh. I just knew that would happen. Your Spidey sense told you that. Because there are no coincidences. Not in government, not in the running of a country. No. We think, you see, we have a constitution just like America. We have a vote. We have a legal system. We don't. Our legal system is an ass. The lawyers are on the take, the politicians are on the take, the bankers control everything from up there, folks. The politicians are simply gophers and initiators and implementers of the 1% directive. One of the quickest ways for a 1%er to go even up into the half percenters, the ultra wealthy, is to sacrifice something they hold dear. A major sacrifice. To something, they've got to sacrifice something so dear to their hearts that most normal people wouldn't dream of doing. Like selling your children, you know? Oh yeah, but if you sell and destroy or pass your kid over to us so we can torture it and then maybe mutilate it and then eat the flesh of the child. And yes, I know it's your child, but if you really, really want to become one of us, you're going to have to do that sort of sacrifice. It is the ultimate sacrifice. You're not going to like it. I know you're not going to like it, but hey, look at the benefits. And you'll get over it. Don't you worry a little head about it. Think about the benefits. Okay. And they do it. Well, and this is why you wonder why politicians who say that they are born, bred and buttered patriots, like, shall we say, Macron, this Rothschild's puppet, why is he so intent on destroying France? He purports to, during the elections, of course, oh, it's so dear to my heart, this country I've born, bred and buttered, and yada, 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 yada. But he gets in and suddenly he has a meteoric increase. He surges, his career takes off. He flies despite all the campaigning against him. He wins the French election. And suddenly France is down the toilet. Civil rights have gone. For 40 odd weeks, people in yellow vests have protested about this. Not just the immigration problem of our ethnic brethren who can marry 4 or 5 women. Not just that. But there's no jobs, the employment, the infrastructure, yada, yada, yada. It's all a paedophilic Freemasonry network and stinks. Another reason that they wanted to burn down Notre Dame, this beloved Notre Dame, suddenly catches fire after all this time. Do you know why they decided to set that alight? Inside job, by the way. Well, they have to have somebody to blame, but do you know what was stored in Notre Dame? Hundreds upon hundreds of years of evidence and proof of child sacrifices, rituals, you name it, the history of the shenanigans that have been going on under the church for years and centuries. And they've all been destroyed, it seems, because of this fire. Just a coincidence, nothing to worry about. But look at Macron, look at what he is apparently devastated, but now he wants to not put Notre Dame back to its original condition before the fire. Oh no, he's going to modernise it. That means he'll probably stick a dome on the top just to placate the local population who have immigrated there. Well, yes, we know. Oh, equally, Macron is hell-bent on destroying France. This country, like that child I told you who'd been sacrificed by the parent to get on in their career, Macron has sacrificed a country that he allegedly loves to further his own agenda, and that is to become an even higher ranker in the elites. That man is going places. You be sure to make note. But in the meantime, you see, we're all preoccupied with what's happening in France, what's happening with Notre Dame, what's happening with Brexit. There's all these major things happening. But my little spidey sense tells me that that's nothing. That is nothing compared to what's coming our way. And I can't put my finger on it. All I know is that it's going to be so catastrophic, and we don't see it and won't see it coming because we're so preoccupied with the trivia, like Brexit. On the grand scale of what is to come, it'll be trivia. And look what happened to France. I've said before, and I'll say it again, Britain will be at war with Europe. And you might laugh and scoff at that and don't be so ridiculous, we're part of NATO and we've got the Americans, they've got our backs, the Americans, thank Christ for that. But somebody somewhere, some group of half percenters, not 1%ers, the half percent of the 1%, half of the 1%ers, the ones who really do are the true puppeteers of this world. They've got something quite lined up for us. But we've been preoccupied. Why didn't we see it coming? Well, because we're too preoccupied. Yeah, our spider sense is tickling us crazy. Now you know why, because you watch. Watch what is coming. Europe is girding its loins. Germany is, well, Germany never lost the Second World War. It has just simply conned everybody into allowing them more time to regroup. And they will, under Merkel, regroup with the assistance of Macron and Merkel, who are very close at the moment. These bastards are up to something. We know what they're up to. Macron has destroyed France. Germany is delighted. It's got an ally in Macron, because Macron is flooding France with mercenaries that are destroying the French people, destroying the morale. They've also flooded that country with immigrants. And Germany has been flooded with immigrants. Merkel, another half percenter, by the way. Absolutely is. She's another one who's prepared to do a child sacrifice, metaphorically speaking, and destroy the country that she loves. But she's an East Berliner. She doesn't give a shit about what was West Germany. Who gives a shit? She doesn't care. Because now they're going to build a superstate. A European superstate. And Britain are not invited. And if we cannot see that there will be another European war, and you think, well, who's behind all this organising? Who are the half percenters, not the 1%ers? Who are the half percenters? Who do the 1%ers answer to? They answer to the half percenters. Well, those half percenters, folks, well, they pass themselves off as Jewish, and they're not. But it suits their purpose, and yet the Jews get terribly offended about anti-Semitism, but the half percenters are so offended. And you lose your YouTube channel talking about being anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semitic. But this has got nothing to do with Jews. It's got nothing to do with Israel. It's all about the reconstitution and the claiming back of Babylon. It is simply a stepping stone. And this is their prize. And this is why the Middle East is so important to them. They are willing to sacrifice those they love or the things they are perceived as loving in order to get their asses back into what was Babylon. They want it back. So if those in Britain are wondering about Brexit, it's a little bit like worrying about what's on the mantelpiece when the house is falling down. Call me old-fashioned? Well, slap on my thigh. I'm deluded. But if you look and stand back and take a deep breath, nothing happens by accident. Have a think about that. Check out your spidey senses. Listen to your gut feelings and realize that all the little pieces are starting to fit together. And all roads don't lead to Rome, but ultimately they will lead back to Babylon. And this is in the guise of the Jews, but they're not Jewish. Not at all. They're Khazarian. And weren't they thrown out by the Egyptians, along with Moses on his ass, who was no Jew himself? Have a think about that. Believe your spidey senses now, folks, in everything you do. Catch you tomorrow.